I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar from today. My name is Pascal van Wijk. I want to show you something about columns and beams in IMPACT for AutoCAD. And on my side is my good friend Nikolai. Can you present yourself?
Hello, everyone. I will be here as well, and I will be able to answer all of your questions during the webinar. And I will also bring some of them up if we'll have Pascal answering them during the webinar. But I will make sure that all of you who writes questions in the question tab will get your questions answered. And other than that, I will, when Pascal starts here, I'll turn off my webcam so you can control on Pascal in the actual webinar, of course.
Great, Nikolai. Thank you for that. Then we are moving. Peter, I want to start the PowerPoint here. There. I hope you all guys can see my screen. A little bit about myself. I'm business development manager for StruSoft. I have 10 years experience from the factory, and there is some contact information. So what I said before is that it's about columns and beams. So what we are going to do is actually step by step. There's not that many time in my opinion, but let's see how fast I am today. But I want to start with draw some columns and beams, different types, different beams, different columns. Maybe if there is some time, some hollow core and some other crazy stuff. What we are going to do is the automatically detailing of columns and beams afterwards. I want to show you, a little bit easy features also in that way. Afterwards, I think we will generate some IFC files and some shop drawings and other, if we have some time, like I said, some hollow core or some other element types. Maybe we are taking some questions. If there are some questions, of course, I can guess that there will be some questions. All right. Yes, I think we are just going to start now. There. So, like you can see here, this is my AutoCAD user interface with all my impact buttons. World's best buttons, of course. They are really sexy. So I will use them as well today. Let's see. I have split my screen. I have a 2D and I have a 3D. That's actually not that hard. You don't want if you want to know how you can do it. Under the button view, you can configure some viewports there. So that's a small tip in my side, by my side. Yes, what you can see here, I got some columns, I got some beams, I got some slabs, I got a stair. So let's see how long and how far we can come today. What I actually will do is start with a column. So what I'm going to do is, like with walls and hollow core, clicking on this button with draw column. Then we are coming here in this screen with properties of a column, and like you can see here, I can pick up my geometry. So actually, I got three options here. I got the rectangular option, the circular, and the user-defined. User-defined is if you have a really special shape, then you can use our column module for that as well. But what I'm going to do is using this rectangular, and on my plan, what I got from my customer, there's not that much information. It's not detailed. It's really bad actually, like we are used to, because I know that. We got this field here with several options, and what I have what I want is this RC 50 by 50. So this is what I'm clicking on. So what I can do now is regulate the length. I can do it afterwards and change the length, of course, but in this case, I know the length. So that's quite easy for me. What we have here too is this lift configuration. You can set it by user or by section. I don't want to spend that much time because it's actually really easy. I can choose the side and so forth. In this case, I want some lifters in my front side because the the, the back side is laying down in the form. So I'm picking that side here. We can choose a reinforcement template, and that's actually really nice because in the most of the cases I need this kind of reinforcement, and yeah, afterwards I can detail my reinforcement as well if needed. So I know I have two stirrups here and the bars, and maybe I want to add some more of these bars and in another type. But for now, I'm using this template. Um, then we can choose if we already know what kind of top we want. But in this case, I don't want to use a top. I just want to use a normal, regular square top of my column. But a new thing, what many people doesn't know, and what I know is that in some countries you can have a column with a bigger and a larger uh, foot under your column. So what I can do here is I can add a section type with another column section. So I made this 1.2 by 1.2. What I can do, I will show you how it is, of course, but it's in this case from the bottom. Then we got a distance and we got the length. So let's say that I will have this on 450 millimeters. I just pick up a number, so don't kill me if it's not really realistic. In the last part of this properties, you got a building location or element location, so you can choose where the element is. And because this drawing is connected to the right floor and right face, I don't need to think about it. The only thing I can think about is maybe the elevation, but in this case, it's really fine with me. Then we got the presentation of the element. I can choose solid or wireframe, and in this case, I'm just taking wireframe. And what we can do too is the insertion and your offset. But for now, I'm just picking up my insertion point. And what I always have done is using the bottom left, because then I can see where my element is. What you also can do is offset this, so you can offset this positive that way out. So, but in this case, I will use this point there in the bottom. You can also give a rotation. So, yeah. Okay, enough talk. So you can see in the left side that I have my elements here from 2D and here in 3D. So what I'm going to do is left bottom, because I want my number in this side. And here you can see that I got this here. So, and I can see I have done something wrong. There. Is it this one? I guess so. There. There. So If you take a look here at my right screen, here you can see that I got another section here in the bottom. So if you want to use it, it's really cool, and if you need it, then it's really cool. So that's actually really fine. So in the other side, I don't want to have them. So what I'm doing, going back to sections, it's already away, so that's really fine. Left bottom there. So actually, I got the two column types. What I have, I want to have that they all have their unique element mark, and that's also settings. So you can set your settings to all the same elements. They got the same element mark, but in this case, I don't want to. So I know there are some columns here as well, and I will do really easy for myself. So what I'm going to do is copy selection, and I want to have the right insertion point. So I'm just picking this point up, and what I'm going to do is array the elements with a number of 8, and what I can see is that I got 8 columns in both sides. Then I can click here, but I just can tell Impact what it should do there. So actually I got these columns here in the right height, here with the column footing, and here without. Lift is inside one like I told before. So what I want to do is working from the bottom to the top. So I have a building section here. It's a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is starting with a new column and doing the same. So what I'm going to do is find the right column here, and then in the right height. And that's something I know, of course, so it's my project. There, elevation still locked. So now it's the same. Where do you want to have your side number? So I just want to have my upside here. So I'm just clicking here and working like this. Oh, great. So there, that's better. So now we got our columns. So what I'm going to do is the beams here. And the beams, they have a special, they have of course a connection with the columns you have already there. But I don't have the right, you can see here that the beams, they are up to my columns here and they are hitting each other. So that's not really good. So what I can do here is actually something is phenomenal. Back to draw a beam. No, I'm going to draw a beam, of course. It's a little bit like the column way to do. So what I have done here is I prepared my beams in the right, with the right section, of course, and this is my detection area. So let's see if I can find this one, and that's this one here. So here you can see my beam, and I already had a template in it, so that's actually really nice. And here you can see that the length is 0, and that's because you can write the length, but because we are having the elements laid down, then we are picking a point from left to right or from right to left. So that's actually really nice. For now, I want to have a connection with my column. So what I'm going to do is I want to have a fixing in my beams end. So in this end here, I am saying here circular, and then I got the possibility with some types. So I can set a double one, a single, symmetric, but in this case I'm just using single. because then I have the freedom to choose what the difference is, or the distance from the front side to center of my hole. So yeah, let's take 45 and 230 because I know that, and 18. I can also add a custom material if you want to do that, and bam, there I got this one. We are almost there, because what I have to do is lock the elevation, of course, and the beams have to lay down on the top of those columns. And to do it easy for myself, I want to pick up the bottom left again, because that's how I used to do it, and that's easy. I know exactly where I need to click. And if you want to use the top in the left, then you're free to that. So that's actually really nice. What I didn't have shown you before is the offset, and the offset is that elements, they don't have to lay like this to each other. So I want to have a little bit space between them. So actually what I can do is I got the left offset by 20 and the right offset by 10. So let's see. Need to find the right line. You can see that already this one is there. So what I'm going to do now is mirror this beam, because I can use this one in this side. So I will select my beam and say mirror beam. 2000 there. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Where it is? That's the good thing with live webinars, that you can make some mistakes. There. It's not. I've forgotten this extra 300 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is just move it in. It was 100 millimeters there. Oh. So, and now you're thinking, okay, that's really nice that you can do it, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to show you now is giving it a little bit more sense. So what you can see here is that I will change my column top of this column. And here in tops, you have a possibility with, like I said, a corbel, but in this case, I wanted to keep it simple and add those custom materials. So this is something you can have like a standard. So I have a template and I call it this date. And here you can see that I got those two inserts here with a placement with 90 millimeters from the center to both sides. You can also change this, of course, to centric, eccentric, individual, etc. But in this case, I want to use this like this. And here you can see that it actually was easy enough for me to hit right. All right. I can do the same, of course, for this one. I could do it at the same time with selecting the two elements, but yeah. sometimes impact just too fast for my brain. So, but doesn't matter. We got still 2 beams to do, and I'm just show it in the regular way. So do it a little bit quickly. And that was not that perfect. There. So here you can see that I have my inserts from this from the column is fitting with the holes in my beam. So let's do it for the other side too. There. There. Good. Now that was it for this part. I want to leave this this part of the building, and now I want to speed it a little bit up. So what I will do is, I need to zoom a little bit in to check what type of beam I need. It's the rectangular beam. There. Just give it a fresh one. Those should be a little bit higher. So I'm just changing my, just need to calculate this because I didn't write it down. There. And now I'm picking up the bottom of the center because that's easier for me. Want to have 20 millimeters on each side because I don't have the beams at the same width. There. So just working. You can see it's really bad draw. So I don't want to have some problems the day they will get the elements on the side. So let's detail them how I want to. There. Just working future. I can also use that good function with mirror the beams, but yeah, it doesn't giving sense always, of course, if they are not in the same, if they have some differences. So, oh, I think I'm almost there. That was not a good one. There, that was better. Here you can see it's also easy to change your errors and mistakes. There. So now you need to be really, really awake, because what I'm going to do now is before I moved to StruSoft, I never heard about this function, and Nikolai, he actually told me that, oh, we got a function to do the corbels automatically. Okay, that's something you should have told me for 3 years ago. Damn it. But here we got on the components with draw corbel. You know
Now
the normal way.
you're telling people now, Pascal, better late than never.
Better late than never. That's exactly the right word to think about. So, yes, draw corbel from element. It's I'm a little bit tired of that. I didn't know it before because it will save me so much time. What I'm going to do is just selecting everything. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I need to pick up the right cobble, and actually it is the right cobble what I want to do, but I still got the opportunity and the possibility to change some things a little bit. So the length of the cobble is 300 now, and maybe it's that a little bit too much, so I want to choose 250. The height is something I want to have a little bit higher, and this one do this. Then you can choose what kind of dimension type you want to have. Oh, I forgot something. The width of the cobble, of course, is also an important thing. So you can make it fixed. You can do it by element and by element intersection. In this case, I just want to use this by element. But casting material is something we can add here, and I got this insert here. It's this M20 and in the length of 150, so that's actually really nice. Dimension type, that's fine for me, and I'm just clicking OK. Other thing, what is your gap between cobble and element? So in many cases you got this extra plate between your elements, and in this case it's just 10, so I'm really happy with that. Oh, did you see that? I didn't do that much. I just selected all my elements and I got cobbles where I needed on the right size, and I made a little mistake with this casting material, but that's something I can set like standard better, of course. But you could see how easy it is to add those cobbles here. So that's just great. Oh, I have this already here. I'm sorry. So there, back to 2D. That's actually really great. So you can see that I'm not getting all the holes right, but I'm actually I don't really care for now, because you know how easy it is to change it in Impact. But what we are going to do now is another element type, and the next element type is this pre-stressed beam. It's a ledge beam. No, not a ledge beam. It's this sloped I-shaped beam. So the same principle like you saw before with the beams. No length here. I will pick up my right element type here, and I can already set some settings with the strands is here as well. So if you have some more strand patterns for your beams, then you can choose them here. You can also do it afterwards. That's a good thing to remember, and that's also an easy one. So I actually didn't really talk about the other stuff here in this ends, because what you also can do is giving the ends of the elements an angle. So if you want to have angle with 55 degrees or something like that, then you're just typing here in 45. So that's not that hard. What I want to use here is I want to have a fixing, a cutout there, and that should be 50 with a length of 157 there. You can see that I have to be a little bit aware of the elevation, because I'm working on the way how I did. Lock elevation again there. Oh, that's strange. Can you see that? I got this other color, and that's a feature because we have made something in this Easter. I think it was in Easter. Um, we made something to change the color of each element type, and that's why I said there are some small things in it. What you can do is going to beam definitions, and be aware it's only impact 17, so impact 16 uses that is not going to work for you. But here, if you're going to your oh, I need to find the right beam, of course. But if you're going to a definition of your beam, it's with a lot of numbers and so forth. But here under this button here, MISC, we got this color here. So you can choose the color method by layer. So it's the normal impact ring way. But in this case, I actually made one with by definition and got this nice color here. So that's a small tip of the week, will I call it, for today. So if you want to do that, try it out. It's actually a little bit funny. Next thing, I will do the same like I did before. Copy the elements with the array way. Oh, that's a little bit too much there. So here you can see in my 3D here that it was actually really fast to get those beams here as well. So another feature, and I think Nikolai talked about it last year at our great user conference, is that you can add some MAP keys on your columns and beams. So I actually want to show you how you can add a MAP key to a column here. So I'm selecting this column, and for the people who are also drawing the walls, it's the same screen like you know. I want just to find one MAP key what I can like. So let's see, this one is really nice. So here you can see that I got this little jig here, and it's actually so nice to use. I want here one, I want here one, enter. So that's just like walls now. You got your MAP key with this number here, and just show you how it looks like in solids. So that's actually looking very nice. Otherwise, the way you can add some recesses is also really easy. So we got this column here. Want to add a circular recess with a diameter of 75. Annotation text I don't need to think about because I'm showing you how it works, and that's also so nice. Just picking up the side, and it doesn't matter in what side, so you also can do it through the whole element here and add that many holes you want. Also working in corbels. Oh, that's that's not that good. Undo. It's not picking up that undo. Okay. Doesn't matter. You know what I meant. So you can work from the side you are and change direction. Update the lift there. So that's also a good feature you can use with your columns and beams. Yeah, I'm maybe a little bit faster than I thought. That's a board, but okay. I don't know. Have we had some questions for now, Nikolai? Do you know that? I'm not
I think
following
it
the
should be
questions.
unmuted now. Yeah, no, we had a couple of questions. We had a couple of questions about reinforcement, reinforcement templates, if we were going
Yes.
to look a little bit on that. And
Yeah,
then
of course.
another thing, which is a question from me as well, Pascal, is what about some shop drawings? Everything's ready here. Click of a button, right?
Yeah, exactly. But now you are too fast because I'm not
Oh, that
really
was me. That's too
ready
fast.
with detailing. So I'm still missing my stair and my holocore. So, but
Yeah.
of course, you want to know a little bit more about this reinforcement template. Your reinforcement template is something you can uh, change in your element definition. So if you are going here to column definitions and pick up the column you want to do it. So I just want to pick up the column we are working at. So you got this beautiful screen here. So you got the width, height, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to this tab here, reinforcement. And in this tab, you can see here that we got a lot of numbers here again. But you have to look at this little field here. So if you have if you could think about a template, you can click on right click here, and then you're getting this little interface. So let's say test. Then you're coming here in this interface with this reinforcement. Here you can add that many bars you want, the right stirrups, etc., and what the spacing should be, etc. So let's just make one. I don't know if I have the right bar marks, but let's see. Yeah, I have some bar marks here, but are they fitting? I don't think so. Shape code L. Okay. Oh. So yeah, let's just take one there. That's a real nice one. So you need a shape code for each section, of course, because yeah, Impact needs to know where and how big your shape code and stirrup should be. So in this case, I got this bar mark here. What I can do too is rotate those shape codes like it will fit correctly for you. Then we got this sample elevation view, and that's how you are looking in from the side. So you got your main location. So you got your first bar, your second bar. So that's those are the bars in the top or in the bottom, and your main. So the main is actually in the middle. We got this different distance from 400 millimeters from the top or the bottom. So we will start here and we'll stop in the location of the bottom with 500 millimeters. So yeah, it's just like the top, but then on the other side. So let's see, let's change this to 450 and this one too, spacing on 200. Then we got the location of the top and the bottom. And yeah, this one. This is the first location, so there's the first stirrup there. And it's also you need to think about that you are going to the bottom as well. So the bottom at the first should be here too. So let's set then on hundreds. Keep this as well because that's actually really fine. But then we got this distance between those groups there. So what is this distance between this first and the second? That's actually 80 for now, and I will set that to 50 in both sides. Then you got a number of bars in the second bundle. Let's set this to, it's actually really fine, but the space is not that big there. I think it if it's giving sense, I don't know. It's a long time ago for me to have to take care of these reinforcement, of course, but it works like this. What we can do too is adding some straight bars. So if you are not happy with this 60 millimeters, then we can go to 25. And you can see the cover is 35 here from this side here. And that's not enough for now, so I can easily change this to 45. So now we are coming to how many bars you got in the corner. So in this case, this is 1. I can also change it to 2. Then it will lay an extra bar in the side. So let's just do that. Number of bar in front of back and in the left of the right or the right. So that's actually it with make this template for our column. So I want to use that like a main one. You can see there's a lot of bars here because I added a lot of bars therein. You can also change your placement of your stirrups here. So that's actually, yeah, it's pretty good actually. So if you want to know more about it, then please take contact of us because it's more broad if you compare it to the rest of the webinar. So okay, like Nikolai mentioned before, I want to have some quick shot drawings. Before we have to do it, we need to save all the elements in the database. So what I'm just going to do is select all my elements, first my columns, and just take like this. There. Oh, it's quick. It's really quick. Oh, do the same again. Start with the non-stressed. There. And one time again for the stressed beams, pre-stressed beams. There. So if we are going to project manager, and I will find this there, like we can update the project manager there. Oh, I have this one. Where are my columns? Oh, starting teams, come on. There. Reload. Did I have a filter? I guess so. I think I have a filter someplace because they are saved in a database. They got a number here. So what we can do is just click on this generate shop drawings, and it's the same principle. You got your element marks here, and with the drawing name, just give it a little bit of time there, and let's do it also for the beams. Oh, this one. There, just try something. So what we can do is open this drawing just with the button. Oh, there was this one. So if you want to change something on your drawing, then you can do it here by open the drawing just with a simple mouse click. Let's just open all of them. So here you can see that I got my reinforcement from my template. There. I got my holes in my element, and I got my lifter here in, and two new things here. The color of my my yeah, you know what I mean. So I got my colors here on my custom materials. That's one thing. You can set it in standard admin. And another thing is that you got this point of gravity in your beams and columns too from now. So there are two settings in your standard admin you need to change there, but it's an easy one and it's a great thing actually. All right. This beam, I want to have some more bars in it. I will just give an extra section there. So I can see my hole here, and you can see here my reinforcement. So what I'm going to do is that I'm not that happy with the number of bars. I need some more. Then I just can work like this. It's actually really easy. You can use this reinforcement button. Oh, I just also need to use the right button now. So here you can see that actually there's some more bars here also in my section view. So this is the drawing of this other beam. So yep, that's the most important thing. 11 minutes for now. I just want to show you some good features before I will move on. Do it in 3D here. This is actually a really nice feature, and we had also a tip of the week about this feature. What I think is that I think I would use it a lot if I when I would draw the columns and the beams, because those holes here are for the bars between the hollow cores. So this feature is about multi-copy components. So what I'm going to do, you can see the elements, they are not in the same, they are not the same. They got some different length and so forth. But what I want to do is select this element. Then I will select the components I want to have in the other beams. So I'm just selecting all those holes there, pressing on enter. Then there is an insertion reference point, just like you want to copy by base point in AutoCAD, you can do it here with a reference point of your custom materials or windows or whatever. So selecting this one, pressing on enter. And now I need to select the elements I want to copy to. So what I'm going to do is just selecting those beams here and pressing on enter again, update. So here you can see, and let's go to the top view there, that those beams, they got also those holes in the right way. So you can see those two beams, they are not in the same length, but they have the right placement of those holes in both sides. I would love this function actually. So also again, if you have some questions about this function, check our tip of the week on our YouTube channel or on our LinkedIn profile. You can find it on my personal profile. Then I'm showing it also on walls. So otherwise, I don't know. I could add some holocores and there, but yeah, there's not enough time for that on this time. I think it was okay webinar for you, and I showed you the best features for now. And probably, if you have some good ideas, of course, we will always try to improve our product. So also in this case. Otherwise, I want to thank you for your time. I don't know, are there some more questions before I'm to? I can see there is
Yes,
a
yes, yes.
question.
The question, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The question is, will it automatically give identical elements the same name? And the answer is yes, if you wanted to.
Yeah, if
Because
you want to.
you can turn it off if you want. But yes.
Yeah, like I told before, you got the setting here in the project properties, and there. So here you can see that you got this use same mark for identical elements. Here you can choose actually a lot of different. So you can say never, or for each phase, or for each building, and whatever. So I think you need to look at that if you are more interested in that. So yeah, and that was it actually.
A question about the MEP key functionality as well, if it's only in the newest version, IMPACT 17, and the answer is also yes, it's only in
Yeah.
the newest version, IMPACT 17. There is 5 minutes left, Pascal, and maybe if you can spend the 5 minutes on this collaboration between the shop drawing and the model.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, if you create a shop drawing and then do a change in the shop
Yeah,
drawing and then
you
show it in the model as well, I think that's
you
a good way
you're
to spend
totally right, Nikolai. You're totally right. Okay, I just want to add some custom materials at my beam here. So let's say I got some fastening plates. Should fit in my element, of course. There. there. Oh, that's not that good. Well, so now I have done some changes, and what I have to do now is update my element. So what I'm going to do is update all elements and redraw element here on this button. There. So here you can see that I got some changes here, and I got the right dimensions there. So that's nice. This is beam B0303 there. So let's find this here. There. Now they got all the same number, of course. No, not all. Those two got the same number. So now here on my plan, I have this button, update plan. So what I'm going to do is just click on this button, and Impact has spotted 2 changes on 2 elements. So what I'm just click on this, yeah, it's in Danish, it's in USA, but just click on that button here, and here you can see that the plan has been updated. So maybe it's easier to see if we are going here to 3D viewing there. So here you can see that this element got now this welding plates in the bottom here, and this big recess. And it works actually also in the other way. So if I got this beam here, this B0, I can do the same, like add a recess. Then it's going to be yellow and with a little star. It tells me that I have not saved this element in the database. So what I'm going to do is use the existing element mark, and I'm happy with that. Yes. So here you can see that those 3 recesses, they are added here. Now I'm going back to my shop drawing, and actually it isn't here. So in this case, I have another button with draw element, and this one will update my drawing here. So here you can see that my shop drawing is up to date with the new recesses. So yeah, I think it have also answered the question. No, not at all. But what you can do in that case too, I got this question there. If you don't want to have that the element got a new number, see, here is the button use existing element mark. So what I can do is just click on no. And what's Impact asking me is, do we want to have new element mark? So in this case, I'm just clicking yes, and this element is getting a new element mark. So that's actually that easy for now. Yeah, that's timing. It's a little minute back, and I want to close down for today. I hope that you have enjoyed the webinar, and Nick is also coming back. So do we want to say?
I also just want to say all the questions are answered. If you guys have some more questions, just send us an email, call us up, whatever. We'll get back to you. Otherwise, as Pascal mentions, our part here is done. We'll upload this webinar to YouTube, of course. And send you a link.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, etc. Bye.
Bye-bye.